of the people involved. All of these people have worked together and have worked together very, very hard. And I truly think we can thank everybody. I won't be able to run through all of the names on the list this evening, but I would like to start by mentioning the member states of the agency, because without ESA's member states, this would not have been possible. This morning, I said that there were 10 member states of the agency that contribute to this program, this ATV program. There are 12 that contribute to the Ariane 5 activities. And I really am very pleased that so many representatives of the member states of the agency are here, beginning with the minister, who has been good enough to spend the weekend with us. We also have the chairman of ESA Council, Mr. Tegner. There's Mr. Verne, Mr. Bignami, and Yannick Descata as well, who, well, obviously you know he's president of the CNES. I'll say more about that. But he is also the representative of France at the Space Agency. So I'd like to thank all of the member states for being with us this evening for this milestone event. Aside from the member states, there are others who have made contributions to the ATV. And once again, I cannot go through all of the names, but there are a few that I'd like to mention. I know I run the risk of overlooking some, and I beg your forgiveness if I have forgotten to mention you. It doesn't mean that you haven't been working hard, but I would like to mention those that I have been harassing particularly over the last few months, because I can tell you I've been harassing an awful lot of people recently on the question of the ATV. Let me begin with Ariane Space. It's Ariane Space that has taken our ATV up into orbit. And who was the victim of my harassment? Well, primarily Jean-Yves Le Gall. And he was good enough to attend all of the meetings that we organized on a fortnightly basis to make sure that we kept the rhythm going so that we could have this tremendously successful launch. I'd also like to thank industry, beginning obviously with the prime contractor, and it's Astrium that is a prime contractor both for Ariane and for the ATV. So we had little alternative. We had to choose Astrium. I'm not going to go through everybody involved in this activity at Astrium, but there is Nicolas Chamussy in particular I'd like to mention, because I think I've made him suffer in recent times. I was actually his teacher as well. But I was probably quite a nice teacher. I would say that it's in more recent times that I've been bugging him. I'd also like to say hello to everybody in Bremen in Germany. It's in Bremen that a number of the Ariane parts are produced, and it's also there that the ATV is going to be produced as of now. So hello to Bremen, and I'm delighted that there are so many of you there this evening. Then I come to the CNES, and I've made an awful lot of use of Yannick in recent times. Yannick is a remarkable president, but he's also a very solid technical expert, and he has a tremendous sense of judgment on technical matters. Bernard Chemoul as well, he's another person who gave us great assistance. He attended all of our meetings. Marc Pircher, who's in Toulouse, he said to me, where should I be? And I said, you stay in Toulouse. That's where I need you. DLR, we needed a test before the launch, and Yannick and Jean-Yves and I wanted that test to be carried out, and it's thanks to Mr. Werner and Mr. Reiter that we managed to have that test organized in time. Thanks also to our Russian partners. How often did I have to call Mr. Perminov? I was calling him frequently to make sure that things were ready on time. and also the people from RSC Energia, who have made a tremendous contribution to this evening's launch. NASA, too. I was on the phone to Mike Griffin more than once, and inter alia last week, because we had a few problems with space debris floating around up in orbit. And Mike Griffin said to me, "It's okay, you can launch." And he was right. He's always right, in fact, Mike Griffin. And ESA. At ESA, I have so many colleagues who are at the different ESA sites in Paris, ESTEC, ESOC, ESRIN, and I would like to thank all of my ESA colleagues, starting obviously with the director, Daniel Sacot, without overlooking Aurélien. I was constantly harassing them, and thanks also to John Elwood, who I was on the phone to at all hours of the day and night whenever I had a problem, and all of the people in ESTEC who work with him, and Bob Cheston as well, and ESOC, the people in ESOC, everybody who's contributed to this. And obviously, thanks to Mr. Fabrizi as well, who's the launcher director. So I'm sorry for having run through such a lengthy list. But I really didn't want to leave this evening without having paid a tribute to all of those who have contributed to this launch. There was a book written about Jules Verne, and the author said, "We're all the children of Jules Verne." I would say you're all the fathers or mothers of Jules Verne, the ATV. Thank you.
Bien. Merci, Jean-Jacques. Et donc...
Thank you, Jean-Jacques. The ATV has begun its voyage to the station, and on its voyage, while it's traveling, we'll continue our launches. Next month, we'll have an Ariane 5 ECA launch. It'll be in the first half of April. Star 1C2 for Brazil and Venusat for Vietnam are the payloads. And from Baikonur on Sunday the 27th of April, Soyuz will be launching Jovi B for the European Space Agency. That'll be the second precursor satellite for the Galileo constellation. So once again, many thanks for having been with us, notwithstanding this very late or very early hour, depending which part of the world you're in. So I look forward to seeing you soon for future launches. Thank you.
All right, that'll do it for us from Kourou, where the big news here is Ariane 5 has once again delivered. Tonight, the ATV, a new step in space transportation and a big night for Europe. Alex, any last words?
Yeah, this is absolutely a wonderful success for Ariane, and particularly tonight with this great performance. I might say that I'm really proud to be part of this European space community. Thank you very much, Josh, and goodbye. Hope to see you back in Kourou for another launch.
All right, a new step for Europe.